Will Coby White be traded from the Chicago Bulls, or will he remain a long-term piece of the Chicago Bulls moving forward, alongside Zach LaVine if they re-sign him, alongside Patrick Williams and that core group with Vucevic? I think he won't, and my reasoning why I think is going to be explained in this video. And some of that has to do with how he's played in the last couple of years, his fit along the current core pieces of the roster, including most notably Zach LaVine. And also the rumors that the Chicago Bulls seem to be interested in Talen Horton-Tucker as a restricted free agent this summer. That we'll discuss a little bit as well, but that I don't think is the primary reason. But let's get into it. If you do NBA content like this, consider subscribing and liking the video if you do enjoy. Let's get into it. And so, of course, we know Coby White is a former lottery pick of the Chicago Bulls. Second year in the league now this year. He's a scorer, right? There's no doubt about that. He is a pure scorer. That's what he does. That's what he is. Even though he is a point guard, his strength is not playmaking. And that's why I think he's not best naturally as a point guard. This year he had 4.8 assists per game, 2.3 turnovers a night. But the eye test would say that he's not a playmaker. He's just not. He is a scorer, and currently an inefficient one at that. He shot 41.6% from the field this year, an improvement from year one, and 36% from the field, or from deep, which is also an improvement from year one of 0.05%. He's improved from three, he's improved from the field, but it's still not at the efficiency you would want for a scorer. He's putting up 15 a night, but it's not overly efficient. And he's not a playmaker, in my opinion. The eye test would say he's not a great playmaker. I think he is a shooting guard more than he is a point guard or a scoring point guard. He is not a playmaking point guard, in my opinion. And he's someone that is better off the ball as far as his future career path and development goes. If you disagree with that, let me know why. But that is how I see Coby White playing forward. He is a sixth man, or he is a two guard. And so the Bulls have to make a decision regarding Coby White after this season, regarding if they want to extend him or not, and start to decide what they want to build this core group around for the next couple of years. And that is, do they want Coby White to be a sixth man? Do they trust him as their starting point guard? Or do they not want to pay him, and do they want to trade him this season? And that's the question, because I don't think Coby White's going to be their starting point guard. I think that they've kind of figured out that he's not the guy they want to be their starting point guard. I think that's why we saw Thomas Satoransky start a fair bit towards the end of the year, and Coby White coming off the bench. And if the decision is they feel like he's more of a shooting guard, well, then they have Zach LaVine there, and if they are wanting to and able to extend his contract through the next few years after his contract expires at the end of the year, then that's another scenario in which Coby White is just not going to be able to be on the roster in an impactful way, at least in the starting lineup. And so then that just leaves a scenario in which do they want him to be the sixth man? That remains to be seen. Maybe he becomes their sixth man moving forward and they give him money for that. I guess it just depends how much money Coby White is going to demand as a restricted free agent and how much money some other teams are going to be willing to offer. And maybe it might be too much for the Bulls that they are willing to offer as a sixth man. And if that is the case, then I would expect Coby White is dealt within the next 6 to 8 months so that the Chicago Bulls can get some value for their young guard and move on to add some more talent onto the roster. They currently have a team of core of Zach Williams, Zach LaVine, Patrick Williams, Nikola Vucevic. They will also try and retain Thaddeus Young this summer, although he is a free agent and could leave, and they will have to fill that small forward / power forward role. But I think that core three is P. Will, Zach LaVine, and Nikola Vucevic. Markkanen's still up in the air as to what's going to happen with him this summer. I've discussed that in another video. And Coby White's going to be up in the air regarding next summer and what happens with him, if he gets an extension, and what the future holds for him. And I think it's likely that Coby White gets traded. Another reason that I feel even stronger about this is that in the recent days, there have been reports that the Chicago Bulls are interested in signing Talen Horton-Tucker as a restricted free agent this summer. He is a restricted free agent. The Los Angeles Lakers obviously would like to retain him. They've been very reluctant to get rid of him in any trade conversations. But that doesn't mean that they're going to have the money to bring him back or be willing to spend the money to bring him back, depending on what large offers come in for him. And so the fact that the Bulls are even interested in him gives me the indication that this is now another shooting guard they want to add to the roster. And it gives me the indication that the Chicago Bulls want to move on from Coby White and aren't willing to commit to him financially Because if they want Taylor Horton-Tucker, that's going to be a good chunk of money. Zach LaVine's going to be a near max. Nikola Vucevic got his big deal. Patrick Williams already looks very promising. Is probably going to demand a lot of money as well. So I don't think they're going to be willing to give that type of money to Coby White either. And so I don't know what the package is going to be. I don't think they're going to get an absurd amount for him, although they're definitely going to get a first and something for Coby White, I would imagine. He's not a bad NBA player, and he definitely has a lot of potential, but I don't think he has this superstar potential or all-star potential that has been talked about by some fans in the NBA over the last couple of years. I think he could be a solid sixth man for you or an okay starting shooting guard, but I don't think he's going to be anything special. He's a scorer, but he's not great defensively, although he is proving on that end, but he's not great defensively. He's not a great playmaker. I don't think he's a starting point guard. But that's my thoughts on Coby White. That might be very different and against some people's thoughts. Let me know what you guys think about Coby White, what his future lies in with the Chicago Bulls, or if he will be moved within the next 6 to 8 months before he has the potential of getting an extension, and the Bulls have to decide whether to sign him or lose him for nothing. And that is my thoughts on Coby White. Let me know what you guys think of Coby White's future moving forward. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Have a great rest of your day, and I will see you guys in the next one.